witching hour on the air, a frightful blast. Professor Grass casting spells dark and fast. Ghostly whispers echo through pixelated night. Candy corn in hand, let's fly into fright. Particles of fear in the cyber glow. Pumpkin patches forming in the binary flow. Skeletons groove in the haunted chat room. Together we summon a digital gloom. Halloween high, my spooky digital kin. Professor Grass is here, let the movie begin. Monsters and ghosts in stories, grab a J for Voorhees. Let's haunt the stream with eerie styles. Bat wings flutter in the hologram haze. Cauldrons bubble on the spooky display. Skeletons and zombie spooky tones, let the show begin. A virtual Halloween's where all the fun runs. Magic words typed out in glowing green. Spooky shadows dance on your screen. Professor Grass laughs a spectral delight. In this virtual haunt, we brave the night. Electric pumpkins glow with an eerie shine. Every specter here is haunting just fine. Crunching data like bones under our feet. This Halloween high stream is our spooky retreat. Thanks for the Friday night. Halloween high, my spooky digital kin. Professor Grass is here, let the movie begin. Monsters and ghosts and stories, grab a J for Voorhees. Let's haunt the stream with eerie styles. Halloween high, my spooky digital kin. Professor Grass is here, let the movie begin. Monsters and ghosts and stories, grab a J for Voorhees. So Voorhees, let's haunt the stream with eerie styles. That was Batwing, fat wings flare in the hologram hin. Cauldrons bubble on the spooky digital kin. Cauldrons bubble on the spooky digital kin. A virtuous bowl of wings where all the fun's matchwings flutter in the hologram haze. Cauldrons bubble on the spooky display. Skeleton!
Nosferatu.
Birdie, wet one now! And Bootic!
What?
That's why it's called with you, no wing to the beer and do it glue. Everybody on the digital with the moon when this use and I forget with the money out true. This doctrine nonsense and off when do with it if you wanna blow my foo. I prefer it for the no and the pop when glue and the for the no and do. Magic words typed out in glowing green. Spooky shadows dance on your screen. Professor Grass laughs a spectral delight. In this virtual haunt we brave the night. Electric pumpkins glow with an eerie shine. Every specter here is haunting just fine. Crunching data like bones under our feet. This Halloween high stream is our spooky retreat. Thanks for the fun night. Thanks for the fun night. Thanks for the Halloween night. Electric pumpkins glow with an eerie shine. Every specter here is haunting just fine.
I thought that song was
Crunching
over.
data like bones under our feet. Is our spooky retreat. Thanks for the fright night. Thanks for the fright night.
Let's get started, folks. How's it going? Welcome back to the Professor Grass channel. I'm Professor Grass. With me is the beautiful Pokey Geek.
Aw, shucks.
How's it going, Pokey Geek?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Just throwing all the exclusive emojis in chat.
Ew.
I don't know why. I just started throwing all of them in there. Even the fucking jiggle guy from fucking Aqua Teen. All right, folks. Hey, so we've got a Halloween high stream tonight. It's one of our nostalgia Halloween high streams. So we are watching Casper.
Yes.
And
This is my pick.
this is Pokey Geek's pick. So that's why we didn't get to do it on Saturday or Friday or anything. But we were off today. So we went ahead and just decided to do it today when we had
Yes.
time. So right now, just before we get started, and so YouTube has a little something to watch. we're gonna watch the '95 Casper Pepsi commercial. Then, after the Pepsi commercial, we actually have the DVD of Casper '95. So we're gonna peruse the menu and look around at the bonus features and all that fun stuff before we get started, and then we're gonna watch the movie. If you enjoy the stream, leave a like, share me on your favorite social medias, all the fun things. Look over under PokeGeek. There's the buy me a coffee option. I've also put it down in the chat or in the description below. Make it a little easier for you to be able to hit that. If you wish to throw us a tip, you don't have to. It's not required at all, but it's just there. So if somebody's got some money burning a hole in their pocket, they can give it to old Professor Grass. You won't mind.
In this economy?
In this. Ooh. Give her an egg in these trying times. All right, let's get started, folks. Oh, yes. So the YouTube video is actually very high quality.
It's not loud, is it?
Yeah,
Too
it's
loud?
very loud. I turned it down a little bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, that exists.
Yeah, he can't get the Pepsi can out because he can't pull things through walls.
Because he's intangible.
Because he's a ghost.
I get it.
Hey, Professor, before you start, I sent you some GIFs in Discord for some more spooky dancing GIFs and things you can throw up instead of Nosferatu.
Oh,
Turning the lights on and off.
I can do that later.
No, I mean, I just wanted to let you know.
All right, bonus materials.
This movie is actually so good. Maybe it's not, but maybe it's my nostalgia.
I think it's all right.
Oh, I used to watch this movie. I'd rewind
think
it
it
and
holds
watch
up.
it over again.
I don't know about that,
When I was like 3, I don't know. I just
but I
did
think
it
it
a
holds
lot.
up. What's Casper's Playroom, PokeGeek? Do you know?
I don't know. I've never watched this.
You've
DVD
never done
before.
the DVD, just the VHS?
I bought this DVD. I did that. That's it. Because I like Casper, and I've never
I'm pretty
watched
sure
it.
I own this DVD.
Oh, well, I had the tape, so
And then you were like, I don't even know if we have it. There's games on this.
Casper's Treasures.
Casper's Treasures. Help Casper find 5 hidden treasures by exploring the DVD menus. Do DVD menus,
No,
real quick,
not the DVD menus, hidden items.
DVD menus used to be fucking top-notch quality.
We're playing a game
Fucking
right now.
think about like the Incredibles DVD. This DVD. Dude, games on DVDs like flipping through with the laggy ass remote and shit. I remember that shit. That's some good shit right
I
there.
played the Incredibles game. I think there was something with the.
Come across various toys and treasures that belong to Casper. Click on a treasure to add it to. Okay. So it's just in different parts of the menu. Oh! Ferris wheel. Treasure added to the treasure chest. There's 4 more treasures to find.
Spelling lab. Oh,
Circus toy car.
is it main menu parts, maybe? Yeah, go to the bonus material, or languages. It's ball.
What?
Ball.
Oh shit. 2 more.
Scenes. Yeah, go scenes. That part always freaked me out. Circus toy right there, the little house.
1 more.
It's not gonna be in play. So go to bonus materials, unless it's here and we missed it. I don't know if you click on one of those and this is gonna be. Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
What was
that
that
you
about?
just turned on the commentary.
Oh. How do I turn it off?
I don't know. Click it again, maybe?
Oh no! I hope we don't fucking watch that. That's terrible.
Revealing Casper. Okay, so this is just.
If you don't show yourself right now, I'm gonna have you arrested for trespass.
Is this 47 minutes long?
Calm down, lady.
behind the scenes, 47-minute long behind the scenes video?
That's what it looks like.
Really not.
Generally, stars bring baggage with them.
Dude, this is a whole ass
I was
documentary.
afraid
I wanna
probably had a
watch
little bit of
this
his
so
own.
bad.
I mean,
Do you want to watch it with
you've been
the high
searching for a
stream? Just
friend
fucking
for,
do it.
You know, maybe 50 years.
Let's do it.
longer.
Fuck it.
You're gonna walk onto a film
YouTube,
set.
you get a
I
little bit
honestly
of extra
didn't know
something
if
something to watch.
Yeah,
we
you're not
were
gonna
gonna
get
hit
very
it
much
off.
commentary because I'm gonna want to
Well,
watch
Casper
this.
comes to
We'll
work.
just watch it and then
everybody
we'll
kinda
talk.
Stand still and good morning, Casper.
I kind of tolerate it because, I mean, he's the headliner on this thing, and I've been told that he gets sensitive.
We all hear horror stories. You know, I'd heard a couple of stories, tantrums, you know, excessive demanding. But I figured we could probably work it out.
Trouble
you know,
on
as I
set.
say, with the exception of a couple times when it was a little tough to get him out of the trailer, he was fine.
Well, he could have been a little friendlier on the set, I suppose. He was,
He's the
some
voice of
stinky.
Steve.
you know, that Hollywood act. I couldn't see right through him.
He's a big star, and so, but he was really nice, and he came out and said hi.
Christina
One thing, though,
Ricci,
he's
she's
kind
so
of
cute.
driving makeup people crazy. He's obsessive about this pale thing.
She's
He
so
was saying
pretty.
to me that
Okay.
you know, it's no good putting me against this light
Like,
background, Leslie. You know,
Little kid.
I need
I
something to be seen
know.
against. So I've had to consider that from the beginning.
You know, it's hard to light him badly, you know, because
Just
you know,
she's
he
doing
just
good too, I
photographs
believe. I don't
very
think she's
well.
ever gotten into
When they
any,
first see
like, weird
Casper, they
controversy
usually
or
go,
anything.
"Ghost!"
You know, this is a
They
fun way
usually
to do
do.
a high stream. We should
he's
try
nice.
to do DVDs all the time.
Oh, they got a different guy to play
no,
human
you should do
Casper
that
than the
for
guy that voices him.
Too late.
What?
Casper simply came to be out of the
Didn't
fond and collective memories
Jonathan
of
Taylor
everyone
Thomas
who
play
remembers
him
the
as the
cartoon.
human Casper?
My involvement
for the
started
movie?
back when we
What, they made him
were
more
in
handsome than the
post-production on
voice
Jurassic,
actor
and
was?
Stephen was very attached
Or
to this
they
project
tried to
and
'cause
had
he's like a
hired Sherry and
heartthrob?
Deanna
What?
to start writing Casper.
I
That's
knew Casper was
lame.
from cartoons. When I was in 4th grade, I used to come home and watch.
Why did they let him play
Casper
Casper?
cartoons.
He's the
And I just remember the
voice.
sort of wispy
Oh, that must have
fellow
made the
who
kid feel
was a
so
little bit wimpy
bad.
and a
That's
little bit soft.
lame.
Now that's part
You
of
don't
the
get to play
principle that
human
we
Casper.
used
You're
within our
just his cute
storyline,
little
but what
goofy
we tried to do is
voice.
to bring Casper into the 90s.
You're not good
to
enough.
modernize him in a way.
But Stephen, when he got an inkling to try to put this project
You didn't go to
together, and
Diddy's
thought it was a
parties,
great
so
idea,
you can't be
knew
Casper.
sought out the talents of Deanna Oliver and Sherry Stoner.
Sherry and Deanna, I've known for years because
Wait,
they
is that
both
Steven
worked with me on
Spielberg?
Tiny Toon Adventures.
And Stephen thought they would be perfect for this,
Peter,
this
did
project
he-
because of that
did he
background.
produce this movie?
And they work great
Yeah,
as a
pretty
team.
sure.
And they're very good
Universal
at writing
Pictures.
humor.
And they're a female freaking crack.
Harvey
I mean, they
Entertainment
finish each other's
Company.
sentences. They're very kind with each other, and he really brought them in to try to
Maybe
bring
that
Casper to
kid
life.
didn't go to the
Well,
parties.
I think the cartoon background helped us explore all
house was so pretty,
possibilities in a
too. It's
space.
so-
That's what you do when you write cartoons.
It's not
You
very
say,
well
I'm
lit,
in this
though. I wouldn't have
space.
been able to
what
see.
possibly could a character make use of in this space? And so our minds were real open to that kind of thing.
Casper, as we've created him, has a real. We always laugh saying, "This Casper has tude." You know, he's got attitude.
So we took him from
He's
where
got
he
some
is
tude.
and added, instead of just him wanting a friend, him falling in love
With the girl who is his friend.
And they had never written a feature film script before. And they said, is it like animation? And I said, it can be. Matter of fact, I wish more films were like animation. You know, it would be easier to control
Yeah,
and to get your
I can
vision up
see
there
it.
on the screen. So because they
Such a good
have
movie.
unfettered
I'm
imaginations,
so- I'm
you know,
so
in animation you
biased.
can do anything.
We didn't limit ourselves
Not at
to
all.
thinking
Casper.
of it as a
I'm so
live-action
biased.
movie.
They made a
We
sequel,
were
but it's like a
aware
prequel, right?
sometimes that
It's
it
called
was,
Casper,
but in
A Spirited
reality, we played it as a
Beginning, and it's-
physical.
Brad
we played the
Simberling
ghosts
directed
as
this.
physical beings, much like you would
It's
a
pretty,
cartoon.
too. This
And we
movie's
played
pretty, too.
the humans, Dr. Harvey
They probably
and
just
Kat,
had him as a consultant or
regular
something.
movies, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a
I was
live-action movie.
I wasn't one yet
So
when this
they
movie
brought
came out.
some
I
of their
guarantee you.
toon logic to the physical world.
We would sit there and say,
Right,
could
but
that,
I must
could
have
that
watched it
possibly
so
be
much
done?
when I was little
and we would
because
say, well, somebody will tell us if
my
it
mom
can't.
ended up
And so
naming
we
my
didn't,
sister
we
after
didn't
the mom in
stop
this
ourselves
movie.
from anything.
Wrote a
Oh,
wonderful
yeah?
draft of the
I
screenplay
said
that we
that
didn't
earlier, but
veer very far away
I
from.
forgot about that.
I just watched it so much. Oh my gosh.
most awful job in the world, being a director. It's the worst job in the world. Horrible. You have no social life. You can't even go to pee. Ask him when he last had a chance for a pee. It's a trick
This guy
question.
rules.
Poo, forget it. Number
Bullshit.
two is last week.
Oh, man.
That's why they always have that anxious expression on their faces, directors. No time to go
Dude,
to
dry
the toilet.
British wit is pretty good.
Start dancing in the middle of the day. It was certainly last minute, let's put it that way.
We went through a process where we had a creative fallout and we had to change the directors.
Nice fucking
quite
earring,
late
dude.
in the
Wrong
pre-production
fucking
process.
ear.
Who are you gonna call? Someone else. The director
Yes,
that we
somebody
had on the
else.
film left the project, and I called Brad. He was my next phone call.
I was in Oahu, and I got sort of a 911 phone call from Amblin.
No, that's the
And
director.
already I was
Spielberg?
suspicious, and indeed it turned out to be the
Spielberg.
Casper
It's
call.
not Spielberg.
And I said, "Are you
But he
interested
directed
in
it. He
feature films? I think I have your first feature, although it's kind of an ambitious
produced it.
first
He
feature. It's
produced
not
it.
one of these esoteric
No, the
little
producer
personal
was
films
on
that
earlier.
Can be shot for.
Was the dude with the earring?
$2 million in Connecticut. Instead,
Yeah,
it
he's
was
not
a
even
$40
on this
million
fucking case at
special
all.
effects
Spielberg?
comedy
Well, they
about
just-
Casper the
They
Friendly
just
Ghost.
had
He
him-
must have helped because he
first
asked
I'm
him
guessing
to
he
direct
was
it.
just like a
Calling
consultant.
about a picture dealing with CGI,
Okay,
dealing
well,
with
this
Because he
one
was
is
like,
good.
I know
Post
somebody to
effects,
direct this
post
movie.
effects.
And he
I said,
set
"You had
that
to call
one
him
guy
Brad.
that we've seen.
You sure
to
which Brad
do
you
it.
Is 90s Spielberg.
He said, I
It's
know
kinda
exactly
good,
who I
don't know.
called.
Well, he was
Dude,
kind of didn't really know quite.
I
quite what to
cannot
say because he was
like
in a
say that
production
any
meeting
of the
and he
stuff that we
didn't quite
watched as
take it
kids
in,
was
and
bad because
I
it was
kind of
good.
Had never met the
But,
guy,
like,
spoken to him
We're
before,
in
and I
a-
said, well,
They were
Brad
also
Pitt,
fucking
it's
kids
not
when
why
they
don't you
were
let me
making
fly
it.
out for the weekend?
And that's
So
terrifying
along comes Colin.
and fucked up. And I
Very
cannot.
lovely, incredibly dapper British man who I had never
I
met
hate it.
before. He shows up in
I hate it
Hawaii
so
with this
goddamn much.
steamer trunk. And again, before I can say anything, he said, let me just walk you through a few things. So Colin arrives.
I remember whenever
and
Hollywood
pulls out
producers
a
and stuff would be
display
like,
of,
never work with kids or
early,
monkeys.
sketches from the production
That was a
designer.
rule
He
in
pulls
Hollywood
out
for a little while, and that's a
old
good rule.
pieces of Casper
Monkeys will
illustrations. He
fucking make a
pulls out,
mess. They're not
early
easily
phone
trainable.
sort of,
They fucking
maquette
tear the
concepts,
place up.
anything to
Kids
try to
are
seduce
just
the
about the
director.
same way.
It's basically like,
And
look, we
also
have all
some
the
creeps in
costumes, let's
Hollywood
put on
might
your
try to
show.
fuck him. I don't know. Maybe he was onto something.
Why is this almost an hour-long feature on the DVD? This would have been an
Are
afternoon.
you sure
for
we're
me.
not going a tad overboard here?
It's because this is the
Stephen
special
had met
edition of
Christina
the
Ricci.
DVD.
I
Oh, that's
believe he
right.
already
The
slipped her a
special
copy,
edition
an
Casper
early
DVD.
copy of Casper, let her know about it. And so she,
I
through her
actually love that
representation,
we still
expressed
have all
interest
of
in
our
the
physical
project.
media.
The script was kind
Me
of funny
too.
because it was like about Casper
Shit,
Friendly
fucking
Ghost,
I can
but then
fire up a
had these
generator. We
really,
can still watch
really
movies in the
sarcastic
apocalypse.
twists to it, really biting
I
kind
just
of
need to buy a
stuff. It was
generator.
really funny.
I mean,
Christina is the one
buy
actor
copy.com/ProfessorGrass to
chance
buy
to
me a
work
generator.
We need to get a tape and
Who at
DVD
times,
player.
as I would try to draw an
We
analogy
need to get a tape
to
and DVD player.
a character, a moment
We
from a
have
motion
those
picture or a
things.
We
television
don't have
show,
a tape and DVD
would
player
turn
that
to me
works.
very dryly and say,
DVD
Brad,
player, Blu-ray player.
1980.
I want one
1980,
that
Brad.
plays tapes.
I was born in 1980.
We
I have no
also
idea
have
what
your
you're talking
Pikachu
about.
one, I
You
think.
are
It does
old.
not work.
Everybody
Well,
in
you
this
could
movie is very
try.
different.
You try to fix
I mean,
it.
you have Christina, who's 14, going on 30. And you have Bill, who's Dr. Harvey.
When you think about the part of Dr. Harvey, who really had to be sort of a modern-day Jimmy Stewart,
So this
and
was
also
like
incredibly
right
elastic in terms of some of the
after
physical comedy, some of the
So,
physical
like, for
choreography that would
storyboards,
go
they
on.
just had a little 2D
My mind kept
cartoon.
coming back to Bill Pullman.
I remember it
That's
that
kinda
it
cool.
was just after Thanksgiving, and they said
Goodness, I'm sorry,
called
folks.
about this movie Casper, the Friendly Ghost, and that I would be, they were interested in talking about Dr. Harvey, which was a good part, even though I hadn't seen the script yet, and that the director was this
it's a good
hot
part.
shot kid.
I stole somebody's car phone. I had somebody drive me home, and I basically got on the phone with him and begged him for about an hour. Did the full song and dance.
Oh, it was a bet, but the fact that we talked so long.
We really did. It was
really
very
what
cool.
Made it
Yeah.
clear that it was going to be.
It was like boom to be able to talk about. I
Boom.
mean, you know, again, we're talking about Casper, but still, we were talking about fairly remarkable
90s lingo.
things. And
It was
talking
like
about
boom.
Loss
This
and
is like
memory,
94,
talking about
95
what moves us,
production,
and issues
you know,
of
when the
grieving, and, I mean,
movie
you know,
first came
This is all
out.
about Casper. So this was the first phone call.
Boom.
That was rare.
Yeah.
Rare.
I wish I could
Bad guys
boom
Carrigan and
into
Dibs.
a bunch of
Carrigan
money.
played by Kathy
That'd be
Moyarty,
nice.
And Dibs is played by Eric Idle.
This did make a
role
bunch of money,
wasn't
right?
Very well written in the screenplay. It was something that
Wonder
we
if-
needed.
I'm gonna
we
look that
needed
up.
someone like an Eric to create the role for, and we were always grasping to try and find that perfect match for Kathy.
Kathy's great. I mean, we hang out sometimes on the weekends and stuff. And as soon as I met her, she said, "Come on over." We talked and stuff. She's great.
She's my pal. We have slumber parties. We have slumber parties and we do some serious shopping.
That's right.
Big time shopping.
Right.
Trash just about everybody and talk about boys.
Kathy had been cast, which I was thrilled about. Somebody I wanted badly, and Steven fully agreed with. Eric Idle, I never, in a blue moon, thought we would actually have a shot at getting him.
He's being annoyingly funny. Irritating. We don't like funny people on this film, do we?
Nobody funnier than us.
Nobody has
We
to
don't
be
like to
funny.
be shown up.
Especially if they're not being hurt or rained on or blown up.
Yeah, if things aren't being thrown at them, I mean, I really don't think why they should. I don't know why they should get the laughs.
You guys are doing some dangerous stuff. I saw
Yes.
the,
And
Mean
we're
Girls.
not getting paid a lot more for it, are we?
No, I don't understand how.
You are?
You have Eric, who's
You're
English
getting paid
and
handsomely for this? This is
hysterical.
bullshit.
He makes me laugh.
I fucking love it.
Hysterical.
Casper,
actually very
according
nice about
to
you.
Stop that.
Okay.
Nothing nice at all.
And we have the
I'm not
best
saying anything nice
fights.
about you.
I am the
According to
insufferable
this,
Carrigan
the
critic.
AI
He's-
I'm
well,
using
he's
here.
just Dibs.
Just a comic wonderment.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm
to
using
just
Brave
behold all of
Engine,
his
so you can
invention.
know.
He invents so much
I'm using the
original
AI there,
material
so it's
that went into
Leo.
Casper.
What?
And
what
Leo
we realized
says
was
that
the most bang for the buck we were going to get with him was really just letting
the
him
budget
What's it like
was
working with
50
Casper?
million,
It's just,
He's not there.
or about
It's not there.
55
No,
million,
not really there.
roughly.
But
And it
Because,
worldwide grossed
Funny how you tied up there.
288 million,
that's what I hear. The trailer's bouncing around an awful lot for a ghost.
according to one source, or nearly 290 million,
according
according to another source.
Trailer.
According to a
and
third
after a while,
source,
you actually believe it.
worldwide gross could
Looking for a
approximately
voice
be
for a cartoon
about
character is real tough. It has to be
500
just right.
million.
It has to fit the character. We were real lucky because we found
So they
Malachi
made
Pearson. He
about
turned out to be a real good
4.5
Casper
to
voice
9
and has
times
given
their
the
initial
character a lot of
budget.
life.
He is Casper as far as
That's
I'm
fantastic.
concerned. He really
I'm glad
embodies
this
the
movie
spirit
did
and
good.
The savvy and the great charm and enthusiasm of Casper.
Because the voice of Casper is the soul of Casper, and that's what you're going to
Because
feel when you
it
hear
kind
him
of hurts
speak.
my heart a little bit whenever I
And you're
look
gonna
back at a movie and then
sympathize
I'm
with
like,
and understand him, and all that will
oh,
come from the
it made
performance. The performance
no
starts with
money.
the voice.
Yeah.
Malachi was 12 when he was
And it's
put on
like a
tape.
movie I like or
And
whatever,
again,
you
just
know?
in terms of the sheer exuberance and animation in his voice, and he also had just enough of an interesting kind of timbre that you could tell that he just was going to be something you wouldn't tire of hearing, and that it captured, I guess, some of the innocence of the original animated
Hey,
character.
Ja,
But again, I really
411,
wanted
thanks
to
for
feel like
reposting us
like a
over on
little
X.
adolescent kid.
Really appreciate it.
And Malachi was that, and he was wonderful, and he just stood out.
I interviewed like 5 or 6 times, and then finally.
Also, Otaku, oh, that's you.
Going in and interviewing with like all the whole
Not gonna
cast
give you
and with
credit.
Steven Spielberg and everything, and I blew it.
What'd
I
he
thought
say?
I blew it like so bad.
I'm watching
and I just
the
like
video.
at the end, I just left.
I knew
and
I
told
was
Mom,
like,
"Mom,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
watch
think I got
this.
one. It's
Commentate
over."
a little.
He called me up
I
before
can't.
I got home,
I'm
so that
watching.
was pretty cool. I had a message
Probably
on my
should
answer machine.
commentate, Pokey
I was just
Geek.
going crazy at my house. My first big movie.
Dude, top quality. You got fucking
they were so
Three
good.
Stooges
Me
as
too.
ghosts.
Ghostly trio, Casper's uncles.
Stinky, Stretch, and Fatso.
She had to
Brad
remember.
Garrett, Joe Napoli, and
She
Joe
did.
Lasky are
The
the
ghost cast in the film.
His dad.
Oh, he played Fatso.
And they really weren't sure.
Oh,
what
fucking
they
Brad
wanted.
Garrett
It was
played
just pretty much
Fatso?
an
Yeah.
outline, just a
I'll have
couple
to
lines of dialogue, and I would say that 70%.
Sorry
of the
about that,
auditions
folks.
were
The stream
improv.
farted.
I mean, and the
We're back
reality
now.
was-
Oh shit.
It was as close to
It's
I'll
okay, we're not
repost
doing
it over on
anything
Rumble.
interesting.
large budget special effects
we are on
shows you could
YouTube.
really come across other than the story.
The 3 ghosts.
We're on
are
YouTube,
crack
yeah.
up. They like. We had trailers right next to each other.
I probably
and
should
they would
check
just,
my
like,
YouTube to
they
make
play
sure we
jokes
didn't
on
get a
me.
strike
They
or
treat me
anything.
just like
Oh,
they treat
shit.
me in
I
the
sent
movie
the link
in,
to
in
my
like real
buddy.
life.
They would
On
be
YouTube?
off
Well, yeah.
out in
Okay.
another part of the set, which was good. Brad
That's
kinda
fine,
put
we're
them
gonna be
off
on
into
YouTube
their
until we
own
start the
little
movie.
world and put a, gave
How much
them
longer
each
does
their
this have
camera, or
left?
they had one camera?
We kind of shoved them together and gave
Oh,
them one,
no.
one video reference camera. Exactly.
This is a
And we had to
bonus
be involved in
feature.
the scenes, but we couldn't
Yeah,
be
this
where
is a
the
bonus
camera
Is that
was.
on
We
the
were
set of
encouraged to ad-lib
Everybody
from the
Loves
beginning.
Raymond?
Like
Are
a
they?
Oh my God.
Did they
poster
interview him
on
on
the
the
track
set of
and
Everybody
That
Loves
would be
Raymond?
fucking
I
hilarious.
think he
crew.
was.
It was almost like licensed to be the class clown.
Stretch.
Where all the other kids had to follow the rules, but these three guys, okay, it's our turn, do whatever you want.
They're animals at that. They tear it up.
I
It's
mean,
like throwing
it
meat
says we're
into
still
lions,
live on
man.
YouTube, so I guess we're
just
fine.
was thankful.
It was just a fart.
I think it'll be all right.
I think it was just an internet
It
fart.
was very loose and free form with.
Dude,
trying
that
things.
totally
It was
looks
very
like the set of
open.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
That is.
Look at the
he's on,
picture
he's
back
on the
here.
set. He's on the set.
Oh my God, they
They-
blurred the picture.
They came up
because
to him.
it wasn't his fucking family. This is the set of Everybody Loves Raymond. You good eye, Pokey.
I never
What the
even
fuck?
watched that show very much.
I think,
Like
each
that
of the ghosts
just
have a
looks like
couple
he's
lines
on
in
the
the
set.
film
They
that were
I think
Dude,
they
what the
interview
fuck?
him
That's
on the
totally
set.
the
My biggest
Everybody
one
Loves
was,
Raymond set.
Cream or sugar when the coffee's being poured sideways.
It was the scene where Bill Pullman, we were skeet shooting in his office, and we threw the picture of his wife, Amelia, and he walks into the shot all of a sudden and grabs it, and he says, not that one. And then I go, who is she, Doc? You know, and Stinky says something, and he says, it's my wife, Amelia. She's dead. And I just all of a sudden went, hey, better yet, right?
Yeah.
And Brad Silverling was right there, said, that's great, Fatso, you say that. I went, no.
There was an incredible competition there because again, it's not one thoroughbred. It's like literally you got a pack of them.
Yeah.
And so if you've got the actor looking for something that's at least somewhat reliable coming from off screen, and suddenly it's like, woo, getting thrown a big spin, and he's the one on camera having to sit and stay in the moment. It's an interesting dance.
Da, da, da. Fuck yeah.
Oh, scream or sugar?
If you have to give credit to Brad Silberling and Les Dilley for really
Executive
communicating a
producer,
vision
so
of
we did
really
produce it.
wild, elliptical, fun but a little bit scary vision of
That
See him
mansion
on the
was
back of the
so
box.
cool. That mansion
We knew
looks
we
so
wanted
cool.
something unusual because of, in the wake of all of our images of haunted houses, even as recent as the Addams Family, we wanted to come up with something interesting and different.
Oh, there he
I
is.
suggested up front that
I'm just
maybe we
stupid
should
and
go
didn't
for
see
a
it.
house which is not the stereotype
Witch
haunted
staff,
house, which
right?
is usually Victorian, and offered up a different style of architecture. Maybe we're going for Art Nouveau, turn of the century architecture, Gaudi-esque.
Going back to the original Casper cartoons, that was actually the style, the art direction that was in the animation.
Oh.
So we really drew from that to give it this
okay,
wonderful
yeah.
sense. But I got to tell you, walking into stage 12, where we had our main mansion interior for the first time, even in its skeletal phase, I just took my breath away.
It's an awesome set. You're totally in awe of what you're looking at. I personally
Yeah, I
have
think
never
that really helps the
seen
movie,
anything
the
of this
cool
scale and
sets, too.
magnitude.
Yeah.
And
That's
everyone
why I
who comes
kept
on the
saying the
stage is
mansion's
just,
so cool.
just amazed that you've got like a 3-story mansion on a soundstage.
And that still isn't big enough for the
Like,
mansion.
I'm not gonna
so
stop
what we
geeking over
will
this movie.
use
It's so good.
to finish the house off is
The fucking scene
what
where
they
like
would
they
call
fly
a
out the
mat
window
shop,
and
which
he
is,
almost drops her, and then like they
where
go
one
to
would,
the
establish
tower
rest
and
of the
they
house
look at
with
the
a painting.
I don't know. They go to the
and
lighthouse and
the
they're just
film is
watching like the
exposed,
ocean.
Twice,
It's gonna be
showing
so good.
the matte painting above the actual building.
A film like Casper has a lot of
Look at
computer-generated
that thing.
characters and acting that's
thing.
computer-generated, but the environments were all completely real. In fact, it made it even more interesting because frequently the characters were flying. So you had a lot more coverage of the environment than you would with people that are standing and talking to each other on a normal
That's
human
kind
level.
of fair.
So you had to remember
You see
the
like the
ceiling.
nooks and crannies
You
of the
had to
ceiling
remember
and
odd
shit.
angles of the floor if you were up above them
Yeah.
looking down. So there was a lot more coverage, and Les and his art department designed sets that could be fully covered with a camera. So oftentimes, although the public may not not realize it, we don't often have ceilings on sets. But in this case, every single set was 360 degrees.
The color density of
if you
walls
can
and,
do it,
props on
you
on
should do
sets,
it, right?
When you're
So
considering
good.
CGI, which is computer-generated images, of ghosts especially, which are kind of semi-transparent and at
Sometimes
best,
they're too transparent, you can't
white
see
or
'em.
grayish. To get those to stand out,
I thought it was the tape,
the
but it's just the
levels
they sometimes
of
are too
the sets, the
transparent.
colors of the sets have to be up around 80%. In other words, if you have a a yellowish color, it wants to be darkish yellow. You can't have a light yellow.
I think that Les Dilly has done a phenomenal job to create something that is both scary and fluid.
Scary.
It's not only just
There's
this
some creepy parts
monstrosity
to
that
it.
just
There's a
sits
part
Like
where
if we
they're
showed
like,
our daughter,
kind
she'd
of
probably be like, "Oh, what the
really
fuck?"
Yeah, well,
fluid
there's like
quality
a
so that
there's a part that used to
sense
scare
of
me. It's
flying
like they're
through it
like
and the sense of running through
wailing
it,
and
everything's
like
eccentric.
floating by,
flying through,
like
okay,
they're
yeah.
just their
Very,
faces screaming in
exciting
agony.
place as well.
It's
as
kind of
scary.
creepy.
I
I'll
mean,
point it
I-
out.
This is the most
Yeah,
incredible set I've ever been
for
on.
like a
in all
kids
movies
show,
I've
yeah.
done.
I mean, like
Any
I
of
said, I
them.
used to watch this when
This
I
is
was
most
really
amazing. I
little.
walked down
used
the
to
Yeah, that's
watch
what I'm
it
saying,
when I was
like-
I thought
4.
that they
Yeah,
were
whenever
opening up
you're
and
really young and stuff, I can
My sister
understand
was
that.
born when I was like
Then when it's
3.
Fuck, I
photographed
used to get
beautifully
scared of
and,
the
lit, in
what
the
are
way
they
it
called?
was
The
intended. It,
Gexus?
Yeah,
really is
from the
satisfying.
Dark
Got a
Crystal.
daily
Is that what they're called?
there you see
I
it.
think so. Like,
I mean, the
Like,
great Paul and
and
May
fucking, yeah.
and the two kids arrive there
Fucking
for the first
creeps.
time. It's pretty daunting.
I had good fucking, what is it called? Situational awareness or some shit?
It's all
Just being like, oh, these fucking guys, I do
Yeah,
not
well,
trust
I
them.
mean,
just like
They
that's
kill
how babies
babies.
survive. If something
No,
looks
it's,
sketchy, they're like,
it's a nice feeling
Yeah.
when you see that. I like it.
I
Some
like
kids will just hop right in the van though, Pokey
Maybe he invented a machine to bring him back to life.
those amazing machines.
Lazarus.
The Lazarus.
Well, the Up and Out machine went through probably, 4 or 5 different sets that we built, and different parts of it were filmed at completely different times. But of course, when you see it in the film, it's all cut together, and you can't tell that it was filmed at different times in different places.
Ed's my art director, and he's been a guinea pig in the chair. We're actually at the beginning of the chair ride, which has all the Up and Atom machinery. And this is supposedly the control unit, and we'll be flashing and electronics working everywhere. If I can push Ed, these are the things that on camera will appear to start the machinery we're just coming to. Now, this machinery, with various things, are operated by people above and people to the sides. They're special effects men who manufactured this this equipment. This
I look
one
like a guy I used
throws
to
a jet
work
of water
with
down
at
on
the
Ed like
grocery
that.
store.
I was busy
did I
looking
get
at
you
that
right?
fucking marshmallow fluff or
Oh,
whatever.
the guy, it was the guy pouring
Tell me
it.
about
Yeah.
that part, Les. And then as
I
he comes down
glanced
here,
at
you
his
see,
mustache,
watch his
but
face,
like
you
I
see,
was busy
it
looking at the
drives him
marshmallow
all off.
fluff.
And then we carry on, and this comes
Whatever the
across
fuck that
and
was.
does, gives him a teeth brushing on the way, and then it goes off. He comes further down, he gets squirted with foam, shaving foam, and on the end of here, there will
God,
be 2
dude.
cutthroat razors, operated once again by somebody up above, which
She's
give you a
like,
shave. Then we go on, and he gets a rinse off here.
Those
and then
razors
the next
just
lot
moving.
of,
This
up
was
and
a
out
little
of
creepy
machinery,
sometimes
which will
too
be
for me when I was
substituted
little.
for these.
The scene where she goes through this hallway.
Tunnel, the up and out tunnel, which we've completely
kinda scary
redressed
'cause
with
the
a new set of
knives.
machinery, water sprays, side dressing of liquids,
You'll see
a
when
towel,
you go through it, it's
toweling
dark.
off screen here. 2 of them actually, one there, and then onto the
Like
air
this is
ducts,
kind of
which
cool
are
to like show your
operated like
kid
this,
too before you
by
watch a
the
movie
bellows.
like this.
Yeah.
Onto,
Like if they're really young,
one either side and one
if
on the
they
top
can
and
watch
front.
it enough,
Getting
like if
dressed
they
here
can actually sit
by
and
a
watch
bow
it,
tie
because
over the
then they
head,
can
and
be
now I
like,
guess we have to go off to
oh,
work in
none of
the
it's real. Like if my parents showed me the fucking like Exorcist director's cut with all the fucking behind the scenes,
Yeah.
whenever I was younger, I probably wouldn't have been as scared whenever I watched it.
So when I was little, the first real scary movie I watched was the English version of The Grudge.
Oh, this is great.
Right? No, the English
That was a
version
great
of
set to bring, kids to.
I
My kids
vaguely
in
remember
the
Boogeyman.
water and kind of jumping over the water, and then the
Was it The Ring?
car
The Ring, it
that
was
comes
The
down
Ring.
on the track to the desk, and it's just the scale.
It was
of
The
it
Ring,
was,
and
it's like
after
the
that I was
coolest
like,
set.
I don't mind watching scary movies.
And it's huge, like comes up and all the
Well,
way.
some
it's all
scary
rock.
movies
scary
are
movies
good,
get
and some of them are
There's
just
like
like
a moat around it. It's
gory
really
for the
like water.
sake of
It's
being
really gorgeous
gory,
green
and it's
water.
like
And
That's
dumb.
you go across
Or jump
the moat,
scares. There are a lot of
and
jump
Or they're
scares.
jump scary,
this
yeah.
pool in the center. It's actually where Esther
I
Williams
like
used to do all her
like
swimming stuff.
those ones that are like
Right,
psychological
later,
mind
they
bender
did
kind
it
of
in
shit.
A pit that's her pool.
You know,
And
those
out
are
of that comes
fun.
the Lazarus, which is like this
A
green
little
machine.
mind fuck, you know.
It's really kind of odd looking.
Like Shutter
This
Island.
life juice.
That shit's fucking crazy.
Pull the lever.
In most cases, the physical gags were really fun because you can lie there
physical
on the
gags are
floor
great,
like we
too.
would and just imagine
Yeah,
what
the
could happen.
slapsticky
Imagine what a ghost
shit
could do
going
that
on
a
in this
human
movie's
couldn't
pretty
do.
good.
Like a cartoon
Imagine
earlier.
what kind of
Yeah, they said something about it
fun
being
ways
like a
ghost would
cartoon
approach
kind
the
of.
situation versus
But it's
a live human
they
being.
did it good because,
I remember
like the director said, or
seeing-
whoever
I
the
have
fuck
to
it
work out.
was said earlier, they
And I'm
made
not
the
an actor
fucking
that really
ghosts
works out at all.
animated
But
and made
I
it to where they were
really
like
was
cartoons,
aware right off
and they
from reading this
interacted
thing that it
with
was going to be
our
physically
world in that way.
really demanding.
You know,
And I have never
it's interesting.
worked as hard physically in any picture.
Big upper body strength.
Yeah, because
It was a sword fight in the movie, and I brought in 3 or 4 stuntmen, and Bill, we rehearsed and I choreographed the sequence with these stuntmen fighting Bill.
See,
you know,
sometimes
that was
they're blue, and then
65
sometimes they're like
steps.
clear, and you can't
and
see
you
them.
had to be able to
It's
go up
that
and
would
backwards
okay.
and doing full
See, look,
isometric
like
Ghost
they're really
lore.
clear.
doing stops
Imagine
and hits
it
and
being
everything
like
with
cold
3
spots.
things that could move at
Right?
instantaneous speed
Yeah.
all around you.
They're
It's
blue in the
rather
cold
difficult
areas
fighting
and clear in
something
the
that isn't there
non-cold
when you're shooting.
areas.
Okay.
So you can
And do
see
it
them better in the cold spots.
16, 17
okay.
takes.
It was just fun to watch Bill Pullman really master the art of working to nothing.
guy's fucking
So,
mustache,
you know,
Jesus.
to the animation to be.
It's a very hard thing to kind of fake that you're hitting somebody with a sword.
Yeah,
'cause
but when you
you always
redo this
bob a
first
little
and then do
bit.
the
You know, whereas
animations,
if you
they can
weren't, you
animate
just,
to
if
your
with the real
actions.
sticks, you hit
That's
something
true.
and you can really hold it.
And
so
it'll
those
look better,
dead
too.
stops are what was really hard. Do you remember me saying to you, Brad, you are watching this monitor and you're looking for monitor perfection. You're forgetting the fact that I am killing myself out here.
And finally, it's like, hello. I'm human
Dude,
here.
it's
I'm
so good,
dying.
though.
He did good though, yeah.
How
He
good
did.
it looks.
They fucking worked on it, and you know what?
There were a
You
whole
earned your
slew of
check.
props that were created.
You know?
Yeah.
That every time the ghost interacts with a prop, the prop is generally a computer graphics prop, and they are basically indistinguishable from real props.
I couldn't
And
tell that
there are
was a
shots,
fake-
in fact, where they switch from
And
a
this is in the
actual
90s?
prop that was shot
That
in a live
bottle was
action
fake.
scene to
That
a
bottle was
computer
CGI.
graphic rendered 3D element.
Cat comes in the door, Casper settles into, right, as she closes the door, she turns around, he has just settled in on his question. She builds to camera.
I think in that case, let's start with real for her.
Okay.
And then the thing to do would be to stage it so that Casper grabs it like this.
Exactly.
And then she can bring it forward.
Right.
I want to make the switch to CG bottle.
Before you change.
Yeah, we just
So
dump
they're
the real
planning it out,
bottle.
but like I couldn't tell in that scene.
I did not notice that either. That's I'm kind of in awe. That's impressive.
See, like I couldn't tell that was a CGI
Well, there's a
because
lot
when
of
Casper was
interaction
holding it,
where
it was
the ghosts
CGI,
handle
and I could not
different
tell. But
prop
once they
elements
said
which,
something, I looked at it and I'm like,
coexisting
oh, I
as
can
real
kind of
elements
see
on
it
the
now.
set, but as soon
Yeah.
as a ghost
See, like,
picked
that's
up
After
real?
they
the
tell
sound,
you,
we had to make that computer
you
That
can
one's
totally
CGI.
see it.
so that they could handle
But
it
like
freely and not be tied into
in the
an element
movie, you know,
in the
there's
shot that
dialogue
was
Can you
going
see
on
it?
and all
Can
that.
you see that
Would
it's
really
CGI
restrict your
there?
I
animation.
can now.
It was interesting. I found that
After they
had
pointed it
experience
out,
in Amblin movies,
but whenever they
which I found a
switched
little
it over,
frightening,
I'm gonna be
that they
honest,
would like to
I did
to
not
pull
see
what
the
they call a light
transition.
mask.
It
I
was
did.
that smooth.
I did just then.
You seen it
I
whenever it
did.
switched?
narrower face than the actor.
But I
and
wouldn't
then
have
they
noticed.
take a
I didn't
mold of
notice.
Brian's face, so it's Brian's face on the
Like, I wouldn't
inside
have
with the
if they
actor's
hadn't
face on
pointed
the
it
outside.
out.
But it works real well, and you know, it's definitely the way to go. It allows you to photograph the double much closer than you
It was like
could
kind
normally.
of sweet. I
This
was like,
one
what
was
the fuck?
weird because you would see the guy with your life face and hair all done up walking around. And it's like the Frankenstein version of you because it's obviously not quite real.
Right.
From a
That's
distance,
fucking
it looks really real.
kind of weird.
There are a number of pieces in the Lazarus sequence where we had lost Christina, and we'd have this young woman, and it was always a little eerie to me. Suddenly, you know, someone would turn up on set with that life mask, and I always assumed there was a director running around with a life mask. You have to know where the characters are in order to direct the movie, because I didn't want to direct this any differently than I would if I had live actors.
It's weird. It's really different. I mean, when I'm acting, there's nobody there. They give me like a mark or something to look at. They film once with the maquettes in.
Three-dimensional shapes, we call them maquettes, of the ghostly trio and Casper and whoever is supposed to be in the scene later for positioning, sizing, scale, and lighting.
And also off camera,
Use them
they
as
have
fucking
some guy
Halloween
working on a
decorations.
computer.
And he would be set up, you know, kind of off to the side of the set, and you'd kind of like be going for coffee or something, and going down a different way than you normally go, and there'd be Phil nibbling.
I'm getting the live video feed from the live action camera, and while they're rehearsing the shot, I'm drawing Casper on my graphics tablet on the computer, and my image is superimposed onto the incoming video footage from the 35mm camera. The process is usually called an animatic, but we laughingly call it a Casper-matic, which I guess makes me a Casper-mater.
Phil was only supposed to be on probably through like a month after we wrapped principal photography.
Animated.
What I discovered very quickly was, again, I had very specific ideas of these performances.
Yeah, that's why he made that stupid joke at the end. He's like, so that would make me a Casper mater, I guess.
He starts here, crosses to this mark, moves over.
He was kind of annoyed with it. That was kind of funny.
So Phil's commitment to the movie grew and
they were
grew
like, they kept calling it Casperation. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Phil, who helped me learn
this is what animation is.
so
God
I
damn
could
it.
speak to the animators.
You did a good job drawing
That
Casper.
becomes basically our roadmap of positions in the frame as the camera's moving or as
This guy
the scene
knows
is
his
progressing.
shit.
How big should Casper be?
They
Where
panned
should he
to him
be in
like
the frame?
5
What's
times.
his
He's
look?
like,
What's his
what?
mood?
What do you need me for
We,
something else?
Actually
Sure.
extrapolated a lot
Sure.
of the
Let
acting
me just-
information from that.
That looks
While
good.
I'm doing the
What
scenes,
do you need?
I'm talking into a camera and this voice thing in one of these mics, and they tape my voice, and while I'm taping my voice, I do all the actions. So
You think
that's
they
why I have
knocked
a
out
camera
all
in
of the
front of me,
kid
so
interviews,
whenever I
like
do,
one after
Casper
the
does
other?
in the movie.
We did a lot of studying of what the actors.
You're just like,
the real actors look
all right,
like.
hey,
Kinda understand what their
here's a
behaviors,
list
what
of
their
shit
little
to ask.
idiosyncrasies
Whoa,
are,
look
what
at that
quirks
guy.
they
That
have,
guy's
and how
Freddy
they move their
Krueger.
eyes
What
and
the
things
fuck?
and
What the fuck is
Oh,
going
that
on?
guy.
As models for the characters.
What was his job?
Inasmuch as,
Being
I don't
the
know.
characters
on
were all
set?
pretty much drawn
Jesus.
to look a certain way. Well, when they saw me, they said, well, you look just like the character anyway. So do you mind if we use your dental structure and other facial features?
That's hilarious.
When Steven and I first talked about doing the movie, he wanted to know if I was interested at all in working with the editor that he's worked with for close to 20 years. And again, in the world of getting the keys to the car, I couldn't believe my fortune. Michael Kahn.
Well, Michael cuts a lot of movies for me, as you know, all of them that I direct. But Michael was in between films, as I was in between films, and I said, hey, I'd like to do a comedy about ghosts.
We were just finishing Schindler's List, and it was a heavy subject, and everybody was depressed. I certainly was depressed.
Jesus.
And Steven thought that he put me together with Brad Silberling. He thought we'd get along fine. And he felt I needed a good comedy to lighten me up a bit because that picture
These old
took
Jews
about
are
half
like,
of us.
we just got done doing Schindler's List.
It was really sad. We were all
Real
really
sad. Thought about Nazis and death.
And he's worked many years with ILM.
We wanted to do a
Special
happy,
effects were
friendly
fun. We had a lot
kind
of
of
special
movie.
effects. We must step out over
With
400
ghosts.
effects. And for a director, these effects were difficult because
that guy rules.
You don't see the uncles and you don't see Casper, but what we did, we had dialogue.
You can get a pretty good timing from what we call the guide track.
wanna break
of
that guy's
how long a
nose.
particular shot's going to be.
So I'd be able to rhythm out the cuts.
That
so I
guy
know what's
should
on
break
there
that other guy's nose.
with the dialogue, and then when it was approved, ILM was able to take it and off the
Maybe I
dialogue,
should have
they
played
would make their
Batman
effects.
before we
They-
watched
they-
this.
They'd put Casper in there and the uncles.
I want to break people's noses.
The way that
Shit.
develops is that we
I'm
hand over
so
a sequence
pretentious. I don't even know what
to
he's
ILM,
saying.
which at that time is just blank plates.
Every animator gets basically a shot package. He has the Casper-matic on it.
Just have him
He's
explain
got
everything.
The reference maquette section. He's got the plain background.
He's like, his
blank
mustache
plate.
is all
We send
unkempt
that
and
then
shit.
to
He
Industrial
has no
Light and
time
Magic
for that.
as a
He's
guideline,
busy.
essentially, for
Industrial Light
where
Magic.
these poor guys are in the frame. Where is Casper? Where are his
Trying to figure out
uncles?
who animated
And this will
them.
be used then as a guide by the guys in ILM, the animators in ILM.
This guy
who are working
rules,
on
too.
3D.
We worked with models
Well,
that came from
a lot
LA,
of them's got earrings, don't they?
that showed what the
Yeah,
characters
all on the left
they thought
ear.
the interpretation of a 2D character should be like in 3 dimensions. And this is an example of the
Did you notice that?
maquette or model that we got for Casper. And from that we worked.
Did you notice that they're rocking the
and
left
rebuilt
ear?
the scan
Every one of
into
them.
something that we
Yeah,
could
I
use
know.
for our
It was a
shots.
90s thing.
So on the left, we have a
specifically
depiction
about
of
something
the scan
I don't
that I'm
know.
not going to
model.
talk about on YouTube.
And
I don't know.
here
Maybe
is
it
our
was just
rebuilt
it was the style at the
we
time.
also along the way went through a lot of design changes so that Casper was more appealing.
I was always told that was the wrong year.
Casper.
Professor,
There's
they're
not one ghost
artistic.
that isn't created
Yeah,
from
there's
scratch,
some
which
sort
means
of
that the
artistic.
computer animators, those talented geniuses.
That's okay. Their
have to be
melting
able to
one
act
here is
for our
probably like the
characters.
worst looking
animator is just
animated
an
thing
actor
in
who's
the
camera
movie.
shy. You
That
know,
was
they
his
don't
job.
want to get up in front of the camera themselves. They want to their
Animation
character.
director.
So push their character up in front of the camera.
You might notice we all have mirrors at our desk, both the animators and the modelers, because everything we have to convey to the audience with these expressions is got to be based on the expressions we're familiar with in the human face.
In each case, for each of the ghosts, we had to create.
Why'd
a
you say
neutral
human
facial
face like
expression.
that?
And then from those facial expressions, create a
Are
variety
you
of
not human?
expressions and phonetic mouth shapes.
What are
So
you?
that the animators could use these.
Some sort of
to
alien with
help them
fucking
with
left
staff.
ear pierced?
We'll have to figure out what to do after that point.
He's so cool.
We found early in the project
Look, there's
That
Freddy
guy is
Krueger.
Freddy
because the
fucking
computer gives us
Krueger.
such
I'm
flexibility
sorry for
in
yelling,
building
Pokey.
the
I know our
characters to look
daughter
any
is
way
trying
we
to sleep,
want,
but
that
Jesus
we would
Christ,
also
that
have
guy
to
is
make
Freddy
sure
Krueger. Oh my
that
God.
the spaces moved about, that the form remained consistent
Skeletons
between the
inside of
characters.
Casper.
Appears to be basically in character.
Everyone who knows anything about animation knows that a lot of the animator is in the shot. And sometimes one of the
Oh,
things that we're
that's
finding
sweet.
is that you're constantly
fucked
getting
up
them
that
to
puddle
not put too much of
animation.
themselves in it, because then it looks like them instead of like the character.
Since you have maybe 4 or 5 animators animating one character throughout the film, you have to make sure
Oh,
that they all
he
have
probably
the same
fucked up
character
the
like
puddle
that, that their
animation.
personality doesn't change depending on who's animating.
It was a challenge because
I think that's why
we
the
had
house is so dimly
familiar
lit, is to
2D
hide the fact
animation
that
of
they're
Casper, and we had to
bad
model
3D
them in
models.
3 dimensions.
Yes.
And
'Cause
then
the
from
house
there
is so
we had
dark.
to
I
take
would
and
not be able to
actually
live in a
move
house
them
like that
in 3
because I can't
dimensions.
see. I've
And
bad
they
low
were
light
actively
vision.
trying
We
to fix
build
it, so they probably had to fix lights and shit
shape
too.
in the
Played too many
computer
video games,
that's a
sat too
wire
close to
form.
TV. I
And
got
starting with
bad
that wire
low light
form, that
vision.
has basically a little skeleton in it with all these control points where you can say you pay attention to this and you move it here and you move the hand here and you move the finger here and you pose everything and you have controls all throughout
Dude,
the shape of the
that's
character.
the fucking crazy
And
part
here you
about
also see the
animation.
colored
Every little
skeletal
twinge you
structure.
see is
That's the bone
on
structure
purpose.
that we install.
That's why King of the Hill is
for
such
the
a great
animators
show
to
because
move
it's
the
like
characters.
the facial
And then you
features
have-
and shit
you
that
have to
people,
put a skin
the
on
way
it
they
and a
animated that
texture
show
and
is
then
just
apply the lighting
fantastic.
and the composite phase. So, and then you make it so complicated it takes dozens of computers
Always
to
had
run
a
all
coffee.
night to make the single shot.
Well, we're gonna render it hopefully tomorrow and be able to tell, because we
We
don't
really
know how
needed to make digital characters that were able to perform. They could not just move around on screen, but they really had to be able to deliver a performance just like a human
Piano,
actor.
the soft piano.
I spent 6 months with our production team shooting. I spent a year after that with the team from ILM.
Fucking piano, I hear it
Stuff
now.
was a little bit big to me. You know, if it's
Especially in Casper, you know, the ghost had to be directed. So when he's through directing, he's still directing for another year until all the shots come in.
It was that guy's
And
call. He was
in
like,
our
"All right, hey,
world at ILM,
you
we
need
measure
better music in there.
everything in
It's
seconds
a
of
little too
frame.
quiet."
So, for instance, a 10-second shot, 240 frames, that's a long shot. This movie has shots that run a minute. They're killer shots.
There were so many of them, you know, 420 effects, something like that. So many of them that we were constantly getting the shots and rebalancing. By balancing, I mean re-editing just for frames. If a frame matters in a match, in an action match.
Wait, was the house
Because the
3D
animation,
animated sometimes?
what Casper is doing or saying in any
I think
one
that's
given
what he was
shot
saying.
might be slightly longer or might be slightly shorter than what Michael had estimated it would be. So that's kind of the ongoing process in post-production.
I would have kicked that
I don't think
motherfucker
you're
out
gonna find a director
immediately.
that's gonna-
Like,
that's
there's
going to
kids
wanna
on
give
set. Get the
over
fuck out of
the
here,
direction
Freddie.
of a star of his movie
He's Freddie
to somebody
Schrute.
else. So it's important that Brad be involved in this, and he really rose to the challenge and is in here,
Does
dealing
he
with the
only wear
animators,
that sweater?
all the time.
And it gives them a direct
What a
director's
fuck
input.
Okay.
bad
upon
choice
that
of
process,
sweater,
which is
though.
vital to him
Karen's
being able
ghost
to
model probably doesn't look
interpret
very good
what he
either.
sees in his head, a visual tool.
I think the big leap that's happened on Casper that was not on Jurassic Park was that we now have
You're
a
making me
character that needs to
uncomfortable,
perform.
man.
He needs to act. In a
You
way
have
to
like
go through a full
eyebrows,
range
but
of
they're like
human
folded under your
emotions.
skin,
And
and
it's
it
been very
fucking
difficult
creeps me out.
to figure out how to get this, essentially these pixels to look
Yeah, I
like
feel
they're
like
an actor.
Making
I feel
these
like he
guys
might have been
seem like
from
they're
the
thinking
Weinstein
and feeling.
department.
Because if you recognize that,
I don't know,
him,
man.
You'll feel
He's
for
Freddy
him, and
Krueger.
you'll care for him.
Anything's
you'll want
possible.
him to win out, and you'll want him to get the girl in the end because you've been there, and you have to be able to recognize that in his performance. And I think
I don't see an
he's been
earring on
successful
him.
in doing that, and that for me has been.
Well, he's just said that
certainly most
you've
rewarding
been there
part
when
of this
you
whole
want to
project
get the
is-
girl
is,
in the end.
figuring
Oh
out
yeah,
how
that's
the heck
true.
it was
That's
going to do
true.
it, and then actually doing it.
He's just
Give him a
artistic.
couple years eating soy salads and such.
He's artistic.
James came in, looked at the film, saw it for sort of the modern fairy tale that it was, and wanted to bring all of those elements to it without it becoming saccharine.
The films I tend to pick now are films that sort of try and do
Just
something
saying,
for me
that
a
guy
little bit
also has a
spiritually as
earring on
opposed
his
to
left
just
ear.
Our, jobs. I try not to be self-important or think too much or too highly of the music
The
that I
soundtrack
write,
is
because to
pretty great.
me, until it's all finished, it's like this spider web, and everything's in the right place in a way. And every time I hear another piece of music or I go to a movie while I'm working on something, it's like jiggling the spider web, and it could come apart. I didn't know what Casper was going to be like when I saw it, not knowing the comic strip that well. And when I saw it, it sort of had this charm, and there were so many possibilities. And what they were looking from me was not cartoon music. They were looking from me to give something to Casper that I think comes out, which is this lost quality of youth or childhood that he's given up and can never recapture. And it makes it more of a fairy tale. And there were a
This
couple
is
of
like,
cues that were just
what,
so
who?
magical.
Fucking Jeff
It was just left the room in
Elfman?
awe. It just sort of transcended what the
Who the
movie
fuck
was
is this?
doing. It just was so
I
wonderful.
missed his name.
And it's just nice to be sort of part of that. I don't know whether it's the music that acts as a catalyst or the film that acts as
James
a catalyst,
Horner?
or just everybody hearing
Is
this
that
great
it?
sound in the room.
I didn't
But
catch it.
It's wonderful when that happens.
He was just a very generous personality. I feel really lucky
Release
that
the
James was
hounds.
very patient with me, and again never had a problem. So he was a great pleasure.
All right, I feel like this is winding down.
Okay, that's not Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Casper?
Sounds great. Thanks.
Realization of a dream.
My experience
how
with
long-
my first premiere on this
We
movie
got like 3
was
minutes.
especially sort of loaded because, again, this is a picture that I had not previewed. We didn't test this film. There was no time to test the film because basically half the cast was digitally created. And had we tried to take it out and test an early cut, half the film wouldn't have been there. So I had flop sweats like you can't imagine. I
fucking
locked
bet.
myself into the middle of a row at the theater. I didn't want to give myself a chance to
What do you do?
escape. I was just
So
out
you
of my
eat some
mind.
fucking mushroom
it's,
gummies?
It's a surreal
You fucking
experience.
eat some
I mean,
weed
it's exciting.
gummies,
It's what you
you
work
sit in
toward,
that chair,
and you can't believe
you
these
ride
people
it
are
out.
here. watching you look at your movie. We had this vast premiere party on the back lot of Universal. I showed up and again looked at all of these preparations, all these arrangements, and again I had a very out-of-body feeling like, wow, this is really wonderful. I wonder what this is for. And then suddenly like, oh, wait a minute, this can't quite be. It's one of the odd things about the public birthing of your film you know, it's a different experience than what you know, which is being locked alone in the cutting room for so many months.
Seeing the movie for the first time finished, I mean, you don't think about it. You just
Who
you
fuck
just think,
is this
I'm
kid?
filming this
That's
movie.
the voice
you
of
don't really
Casper.
understand
No,
like,
he's
the whole
not.
gist of it.
He's just
especially
aged up
for
a
me
little
since it
bit.
was my first big movie.
He
And
recorded the
just
movie when
seeing
he was
myself
12.
or seeing my voice up on the screen, and seeing the whole final
Can't
finished
see his
product
left ear.
done. That was pretty neat.
That was pretty neat.
There's no other experience that you could say that. Just working 5.5 months on something so hard and seeing the final
Turn your head.
product so good. I mean, there's not much more you could ask for. That was probably the most memorable experience I could think of.
With all of its comedy, with all of the sort of wild visuals, I still felt that at the end it did have a certain sense of emotional healing at its heart. And what I remember being really thrilled about where the surprise that they had was that they could not only enjoy the film, but actually find something maybe moving about it by the end of the picture.
Parents are involved.
I think the parents need to be involved in on-set.
It should be a law, like they have to have supervision
Dude,
provided
yeah.
by their parents, like or guardian supervision.
I still consider Casper,
it's like you
the
have.
movie,
It's like you're not going to
best
take your
thing
kid to work
that I
and
had,
drop him off.
that I have
Like,
ever done.
It's your job
I really
too.
enjoyed
Your
it. I
job
was
is to
very,
take your
very
kid
proud to be part of it.
I was very proud of the film.
Or just
it
no
was,
kid
like, hard to
actors.
say goodbye at the
Well,
end of
the
the
only
film.
thing is,
Everybody's
like,
just
if
like
they
all sad
enjoy
and
it
crying and stuff.
and it makes them happy, I want them to be able to do stuff that makes them happy.
They could do that after they hit
And then
18.
sometimes they're so good.
Yeah, first films,
Well, then we wouldn't
it's like
have
any
any
first
movies with little
experience, you
kids
know,
in 'em.
they're...
We wouldn't
you'll
have
never
no
forget the
fucking
experience.
What is it? Little
There's not
Stuart
much you
Little?
can say. Just like
No Stuart
it's like a
Little,
family.
no
That's all
Little
I can say.
Rascals.
The Little Rascals and such.
No, the Addams Family. No, I'm trying to think. Annie.
No, it would just be a severely edited Addams Family.
Fail. 47 minutes is over.
All right.
So we're watching the movie now?
No.
What?
No.
Is that
We still got like one of these to get.
Oh no.
One more.
Don't do the deleted scene.
Don't do the deleted scene.
Don't do the deleted scene.
Casted ghosts.
Maybe. No, I don't see it in here.
What's this anyway?
This is it just introduces each ghost.
Do we need to do this?
Yeah, if you want to, I guess. I don't want to. DVD-ROM features? No.
Halloween safety tips?
Yep. Well, no, you put it in a computer.
It's in a...
No, it's not. Oh, I guess it is, isn't it?
It's in a computer right now, Pokey Geek.
But why didn't it run then?
I did it as a DVD instead.
Recommendations? Oh, babe.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I forgot about Christmas.
Casper's
Haunted Christmas.
Oh, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it, everybody.
Oh, you can barely hear him. Does it sound like they're far away from their mic?
Yeah, I kind of did.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, cartoon classics.
Oh, let's do one.
Do you
The
think we'll
Halloween
get
house.
popped on YouTube? All right, hey, YouTube, listen up. We're going to be switching over to Rumble and Twitch and Kick and Odyssey because YouTube won't allow us to do the rest of this high stream. So go over there, join us, hit my link tree so you can join us, and yeah, peace out. Happy Halloween.